There's nothing better than a fragrance that gets compliments and can be worn for any season or occasion. This is not only great for beginners, but also for men who just want an easy-to-wear fragrance. This is the epitome of blue fragrances. Today I'm going to rank 5 of them with a full review of each. 5th place is Ralph Lauren Polo Deep Blue Parfum. Most people probably wouldn't include this on their list, but I think this is an underrated masterpiece. The opening starts with a tropical sweetness from a trio of citruses. Much of this sweetness is coming from a mango note, yet bergamot and grapefruit add a tart and awakening touch in the background. After a few minutes, the top notes transition to a sea of aromatics. These notes mix and mingle for a couple hours. Once in the dry down, you'll smell some green aquatic notes on a woody and Broxton backbone with light sweetness for the rest of the wear. The performance is average. It lasts 6 to 8 hours in the skin with moderate projection. And the versatility, it's not as versatile as some of the other blue fragrances on this list, and is best worn for the warmer weather like spring and summer. 4th place is Dior Savage EDP. I know some of you are probably in shock right now, but there are 3 amazing fragrances ahead of this. On my skin, the opening starts with a blast of fresh bergamot. In the background are mildly spicy pepper notes and a clean soapy lavender. Lavender is very modern and uplifting rather than your traditional old school lavender in this case. As the scent develops, the citrus notes fade, but leave their fresh accents. The ambroxan from the base starts to push to the forefront pretty early on, and the spices are slightly more prominent as the ambroxan pushes them to the top. At this point, the lavender is almost entirely gone, and it's left with a soft, well-rounded nature. The rest of the wear is really simple. Just warm ambroxan is the most prominent, accompanied by those fresh accents from early in the wear. Of all parts of the fragrance, the opening is the most interesting because there's the most going on. The performance, outstanding. It lasts 8 to 10 hours on the skin with big projection. It'll fill a room. The first few hours it pushes out 3 to 4 feet with 3 sprays and then recedes closer to the skin, never becoming a skin scent. Now I wouldn't call it a beast mode fragrance, but it is very close. Now the versatility, all occasions and seasons, all seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. 3rd place, of course, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. The opening is about equal parts zesty citrus from the signature Bleu de Chanel grapefruit, combined with equal parts spicy mint. This combination is both alluring and fresh. The first few minutes, that spicy mint is really attention grabbing. As it develops, the top notes fade, but leave their fresh accents that combine with a warmer and woodier heart. I know some people will say that it gets aromatic in the mid, but I only ever pick up on fresh woods. After the first few hours, it heads into dry down where it's all about warm amber and woods with a slightly smoky incense. If you like vague descriptors, it smells classy and masculine. One of my favorite parts about the entire Bleu de Chanel line is that they are all so well blended that it's hard to pick out specific notes. On my skin, it lasts a solid 8 hours, and during that time it has moderate projection, pushing out about 2 feet for the first few hours and then receding, yet it never becomes a skin scent. I know this might be a bummer to some of you, but this makes it mega versatile, as it's safe for dates, the office, or going out, and 2, it was designed that way, to be discovered, not announced. The smell is amazing, and the performance is no different. 2nd place, Versace Dylan Blue. For some reason, I feel like I'm getting a lot of hate for ranking this so high, but here we go. The smell opens with a combination of bergamot and grapefruit. It kind of smells fruity to me, even though there are no signs of fruits in the fragrance. This might be from the combination of salty ambroxan and citruses early on. So these citruses sit on top of an aquatic backbone with warm ambroxan present, but not as prominent as it will be later in the wear. The heart of the fragrance is kind of a battleground. The yeast ambroxan is fighting for dominance, while slightly spicy and citric nuances linger. Then after about 2 to 3 hours, it settles down, and it's all about the salty ambroxan with musk nuances. If salty ambroxan doesn't make sense, just think of ocean water mixed with Dior Savage ambroxan. This might be a hard description, but it's the best way if you've never smelled Dylan Blue before. This is the one part that some people might find offensive. The performance is excellent. On my skin, it lasts 8 to 10 hours and projects 2 to 3 feet for the first 2 to 3 hours, and then comes closer to the skin, but never becomes a skin scent. This projection won't fill a room, but it'll definitely make your presence known. And as for the wearability, this is all seasons and occasions. Take a second and guess who's the king of blue fragrances. That's right, YSLY EDP. It's fresh, warm, and woody. The opening starts with mostly fresh and spicy ginger. It has a very zingy feel that pops off the skin. There are subtle fruity nuances from the juniper that donate fresh accents, and this comes from the combination of green apple and bergamot that really emphasize freshness in the beginning. As the scent develops, much of the top notes give way to a heavy dose of aromatics, and they amplify the freshness with an extremely invigorating nature. The mid makes up the bulk of the wear and lingers into the base. Here you'll find fresh aromatics sitting on top of slightly warm amber and wood nuances that give the fragrance depth for the rest of the wear. It is a pretty simple and linear scent. The performance is just as good as the smell. On my skin it lasts 8 to 10 hours and pushes out 3+ feet for the first few hours, then recedes closer to the skin, never becoming the skin scent. Now the wearability, all seasons, all occasions. Thanks for listening. See you next time.